Hey, welcome back to Drinking by Myself. It is the hottest day of my life so far. I am home alone. My girlfriend has left me for the weekend. So I'm going to try and read as many books as I possibly can. Let's see how many I can read. This is my TBR shelf. It's got 46 books on it. I'm going to see how many I can read this weekend. I'm going to start with this one. This is Assembly by Natasha Brown. It is the shortest book on my TBR, so that seems like a good place to start. It is currently 7:10 on Friday night. Raph is getting back mid-afternoon on Sunday. In between that, I am FaceTiming some of my friends this evening, and I'm also going to a party and having a sleepover with a friend tomorrow night. So all the times that aren't that are going to be spent reading. Except not right now, because actually currently I literally just made myself dinner and I kind of want to eat that first. Sometimes when you're home alone, you just got to start drinking. I have some Rosé Prosecco in my fridge that I actually bought with Emma Tobias. If you've seen the videos, plural, that we made while very drunk together. We had been out for the evening, and on the way home we bought this Prosecco, and then we got home and realised, like, we've already drunk enough, so we didn't drink it. But it's still in my fridge, so I'm going to open it now. I'm quite literally going to be drinking by myself. Alone and by myself. I have made myself duck pancakes for dinner, except I don't eat meat, so obviously it's not duck. It's actually mushrooms, but still very tasty. But I did fill this entirely too much. I'm never going to be able to roll this into a pancake. Emma! So I went in for round 2 and was like, I'm definitely going to fill this one better this time so I can wrap it up properly. It hasn't worked! Why am I such a greedy guys? Third time lucky, this is going to be a graceful little parcel. The concentration this takes. Perfection. Cheers to that. Okay, I've done eating all of that food, put away in the fridge so I can have it again for lunch tomorrow. Now I'm going to start reading this book. Oh my god, I look so sweaty. It is so hot. It is getting hotter and hotter. It is nearly 9 PM and it is hotter now than it was earlier in the day, and I can't handle it, so I'm going to come lie on my bed, the only place that I feel comfortable. I have an hour and 20 minutes until I'm FaceTiming my friends. We're doing like a virtual movie night with my friend who's in Australia. I don't know what we're going to watch yet, but something nostalgic. So do you think I can read this whole book in the next hour and 20 minutes? Let's try. I hate summer. I hate heat. Right, let's see what this book is about. It's about a black British woman preparing to attend a lavish garden party at her boyfriend's family estate, at the same time considering the carefully assembled pieces of herself. So I think it's going to be set like all in one day, perhaps? And it's going to be mostly about like her inner life rather than a big plot. I have no idea what's happening in this book, but they are at a pub that I know, by Blackfriars Station. I walk past it most mornings on the way to work and on the way home from work. Okay, so I finished this book, one down for my weekend. This was Assembly. I think that what this book was doing was amazing. It says a lot. I didn't necessarily enjoy the reading experience. So I don't know how much to say without giving things away. It is a very short book. It's like 100 pages. It is about a woman making a decision I'm not going to go into. And she's made this decision right from the beginning actually, and then all of the context, all these little vignettes of her life that we see give context to that decision and help you understand why she's made this seemingly very unusual decision to make. I thought that was all very sad. I thought the book did a really good job of showing the kind of impossibility of living a life that she could feel part of and that she could feel proud of and that reflects who she is and her identity, and basically kind of saying, I guess that's why it's called Assembly, sort of saying that her whole life is inevitably this assembly that she's kind of constructed by the history of everything that's come before her, and so this decision that she makes is kind of about countering that or stepping back from that. Speaking very vaguely without saying what this book is about. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. She does make this decision very early on in the book, but I just think it is better to go into it and discover it yourself, because that's what I just did. So it's saying a lot. It's a really interesting book. It's very much about race specifically. It's about her experience as a black British woman. It's also about class, and those two things obviously being very linked. So yeah, it's a really interesting book. I'm really glad that I read it. I'm going to go and read some more about it online in the next 15 minutes before I've got my call, but I didn't necessarily enjoy the reading experience because I found it quite hard to follow. Like I said, it's made up of these little vignettes. It jumps around a lot, and like even now looking back on the beginning, I'm not sure I fully understand what that was about. It just jumped around back and forth a lot, and I found the writing style hard to follow, so I never really got into it, even while I kind of appreciated from a distance what the author was doing. The second shortest book on my TBR is the Honjin murders, so that's what I'm going to be reading next. But now now it's time to go get some more Prosecco and call my friends. It is 1:30 in the morning. We were on that call for 3.5 hours. It was delightful. I did fall asleep at one point, but then I woke back up. I'm now super sleepy, but I think I might as well just like start the first few pages of this as I drift off to sleep. Just, you know, for fun. This is a murder mystery in translation from Japanese, introducing this character who's actually like a really famous detective in Japan. It's like a Japanese mystery classic. That only got translated relatively recently, I believe. The detective is called Kosuke Kindaichi, and I think he's like Japan's Columbo. Ooh, just finished chapter 1. I'm so sleepy that I might have to read chapter 1 again tomorrow. But I like it so far. Now it's my bedtime. Good morning. It's 11 a.m. I've been a lazy goose this morning. I think I needed that. This pajama sleeve is not supposed to look like this. I've had this pajama top for maybe 20 years. I think I should reread, or at least like re-skim the first chapter that I read last night because I was so tired. Basically the gist I got is that it's kind of fun. So the author is writing this as if it's a real story, which is kind of meta. He opens up the first chapter by saying like, I'm a crime writer and so people always tell me these stories and usually they're not good enough for a book, but this one really was, even though actually the whole thing is fictional. But I got that bit, but I think I probably missed some actual like clues that might end up being important. The last sentence of the chapter I do remember was like a boom moment, except that I hadn't been paying enough attention, so I was like, hang on, I can't remember why that's significant. So we're gonna start again. Okay, that was definitely a good idea to reread that. We met an important character. Before I spend too long sitting in one place today reading my book, I actually went to the physio yesterday and I just remembered I'm supposed to be doing these exercises, these like stretches that they gave me twice a day. I didn't even do them yesterday when I got back from the physio. I'm already failing, so I'm gonna do them now. Okay, that's done. Now to sit back down again. No, standing back up again. I also wanted to water my plants. This is why I never get any reading done. Oh my goodness. My plants are all almost dead. It's disgraceful, but I have made it my mission. I'm gonna bring them back to life. Okay, for the love of God, it is time to read a book. You have to properly pay attention in this book. It's like a proper old-fashioned murder mystery where I'm really trying to keep track of who was where at what point. There's little like diagrams of the house. It's a good old locked room mystery in like a tiny little house surrounded by snow. So there's not even footprints on the snow. So it's like the call is coming from inside the house. Nobody panic, but I actually just got up and dressed. With that done, I figured it is time to leave the house, so I'm taking my book on a walk. There is a little cocktail bar on the common. I was thinking maybe I'll like take myself out for a drink. Date day with myself and my book.
Nothing like your smile in the morning. Following the linings on your cheek.
Another one down. This is going to be another 3-star read for me, I think. It was really fun, but the ending was just a little bit too outlandish for me, I think. I appreciated what he was doing with like, there was so much foreshadowing, so I did kind of know, I didn't guess the answer at all because it was like so impossible to guess. I did know the genre of ending it was going to be because of hints that were made throughout, and that was fun. But yeah, the actual conclusion was, it was actually, I don't fully understand what happened. It described it in a lot of detail and I was like, nope, my brain doesn't work that way. I don't know what that means. So it was fun. Not gonna have blown me away, but I'm glad I read it because this is like a Japanese crime classic. I've changed clothes for 2 reasons. Partly because I just got an ASOS delivery arrived and I'm going to my friend's party tonight and I thought I should be wearing these colourful trousers when I do that. And also because I wanted to save that orange dress for when Raph is back tomorrow and we're going out for date night dinner, and I thought I would wear that dress for dinner. So that's why I'm suddenly wearing a different outfit. I've chosen my third book of the weekend. It is Stir Fry by Emma Donoghue. This is actually Raph's copy. She lent it to me. It is one of the Emma Donoghues that I haven't read yet. It's one that apparently Emma Donoghue herself like isn't proud of anymore. She doesn't like the writing in here, but it's an early book. It's like a sort of rom-com, I think. It's about a young girl, like a young woman who goes to university and she meets these flatmates who are lesbians and it's like a sexual awakening. It sounds really fun. So I'm going to bring this one with me, but I'm not likely to get much more reading done because I'm meeting my friend in about 20 minutes and then we're going to go to this party together and then I'm sleeping over her house. So this is really for my bus ride back from her house tomorrow. On my way home, in yesterday's clothes, I am very, very, very tired. But here's the river. Already really enjoying reading Stir Fry. I was reading it on the bus. I've just got the audiobook so that I can listen while I do my makeup, and also so I can actually hear the Irish accents.
Sorry, she mouthed. Pen. Her hand made a writing motion, then pointed at the ledge. Dark eyes stared through the glass. Forget it, she mouthed, her hands flapping. She turned her hot face away and headed down the narrow street.
Look at this domestic goddess I have made. My lunch and packed lunches for work for the rest of the week. Medal, please. With all of that done, all of my chores for the day done, it is time to get on a train, a very hot train I'm imagining. It is boiling outside, and set off up to Raph's house where I'm going to try and finish Stir Fry. Because if I finish, then I would have read 3 books in the 3 days of the weekend, which is pretty good. I've got about half an hour before Raph gets here, so I don't think I'm going to finish this book in time, but I just wanted to give you an update on where I'm at so far. I'm halfway through. I'm really, really loving this one. So I've just got around the point where the main character has realised that the 2 women that she's living with are gay and are together, and she hadn't realised that before, and it kind of gives her a shock, but she's going through her adjustment. So she comes from like a very Catholic upbringing, it's set in Ireland, and so it's just like very much against anything that she has learnt about before, but you can see her like going through just trying to accept this and being like shocked and uncomfortable with it, but she really cares about these girls that she lives with, and yeah, so I'm really, really enjoying it, and I love all of the characters. Mariah is the main girl who's narrating it, and then Yale and Ruth are girlfriends, the ones that she lives with. And they're all really lovely characters, so I can see why this has been a really important book. Like Raph said, this was a really important book to her. It's like the first book she read where it was okay to be gay. And I can really see that. It's a book I would have loved to have read when I was younger, and I'm loving reading it now. I'm gonna go read in the garden for the next half hour. Bless Raph for having a garden on this horrible hot day. I take that back. It's a very nice hot day when you're lying horizontal in the garden with a cold drink.
Following the linings on your cheeks.
Well, Raph's train has arrived at the station, so she is going to be here any minute now. So I have an answer. How much can I read while she's away? Almost 3 books. I could have read more if I wasn't doing other things, but 3 books is not half bad, and Stir Fry is definitely going to be my favourite. I imagine I will finish it before the day is up. Even though I know I only gave the first 2 3 stars, I've still really enjoyed them, and I'm really glad that I read them. I think they're books, the first one in particular, Assembly, is a book that is going to stick with me, and like probably the rating will go up in my mind the more that I think about it. And the Honjin murders, again, it's such a classic, and it was a really, really interesting, different type of story. So again, I think that's one that I will like feel a lot of fondness for, even though I didn't love every second of the reading experience. Stir Fry, however, I'm predicting at least a 4 star. I'm really, really loving this one. So that was actually the best decision I made all weekend. But for now, the books are going away and I'm going out on date night with Raph. So I will see you lot in my next video.
It's easier